Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a most marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. I really appreciate you responding to my question about the poll that I put up and then took down. It is very important to me that I know what you think, because my channel is exploring African American culture, but this includes African American people and all things to do with African Americans. If something is bothering Black Americans, that's something that we need to talk about. Somebody had the nerve to say, well, there are more important things that I could be talking about. Well, there's nothing more important to me to talk about than what it is that concerns Black American people, because we have been ignored too long as it is. My channel is not about trying to be a diplomat. I'm not an elected official. I'm not a preacher. I'm not an activist. I'm not anything. I'm just exploring African American culture and African American people. And if you care about something, I care about it. So yes, I am considering putting that poll back up. And today's discussion is as important as anything to do with Black Americans. I came across this when I was reading the internet news, and it says single Black women are undesirable is a popular narrative, but statistics say otherwise. The article says, over the years, an overarching narrative has prevailed in society that single Black women are undesirable. While this stereotype has lived on for years, research results are saying differently. Yet again, the numbers don't lie. The writer further states, society often perpetuated by popular cultural beliefs has often projected that single Black women are angry, aggressive, and bitter. Above all things, society has also dubbed Black women, especially those with darker skin and African features, as ugly. Now, this is a generalization because there's no such thing as African features. Africans have all kinds of features. So when they say African features, they're talking about features that Black people have that white people consider unattractive, such as full lips and a broad nose, like the woman on the screen who I think is quite beautiful. But let's move on. In a study that was released in 2016, researchers found that there was a significant degree of stereotypes for female physical attractiveness within society. They also found that those negative stereotypes existed specifically for Black women. For white women, it was easier to receive positive beauty stereotypes. Well, you know, the saying in the South was always, there's no such thing as an ugly white woman. And that is why you will see some Black men, not all, will pass up the most beautiful Black woman or will set very high standards for a Black woman, but then they'll turn up with some white woman that would be almost laughable to the average Black woman. And that is because it has been indoctrinated in the minds of some, not all, that there's no such thing as an ugly white woman. But now when you look at a Black woman, especially if she's dark skinned, she really needs to have European features and hair to be considered beautiful. But this study is saying that Black women have taken matters into their own hands and are in the process of defining their own beauty standards. And that is what's so refreshing about this for me. Black women, and especially dark-skinned Black women, have weathered the storm of a lot of negative stereotypes, of hatred coming from this manosphere in particular, and the degrading and the demeaning and telling Black women what they can't do, what they can't get, and who they are not. Black women have weathered that storm to come into their own. This article says, the statistics may seem surprising to many people who assume that single Black women have the highest non-coupled rate, but the numbers disagreed. And then tell me what the numbers were. It said, additionally, the pattern remains that although many men may be available to date, there's a significant shortage of men who meet the income and educational requirements that most women envision for a lifelong partner. So this is saying that although there are a lot of men out there to date, women don't want to date them because they don't have the money or the educational requirements that women want in a lifelong partner. So Okay, that's flipping the script a little bit. It went on to say that single black women fall into the category of women who want better relationship outcomes. With the upswing of black sisterhood, self-care, black girl luxury, and the soft life, many single black women are realizing that they deserve to live effortlessly. They also are coming to the realization that the glamorization of struggle love is a fallacy. Okay? While the data may be surprising to some, the numbers just proved what black women knew all along. Okay, so black women have been saying for quite some time now that they don't want to be in struggle love relationships and they don't need a man to help them do bad. They can do bad all by themselves. And I know in my hometown a few years ago, and everybody was just appalled by it, there was a group of single black women who said that I don't want no full-time man. So they just want, a man for dating and going somewhere once in a while, going on a cruise once in a while, but they just don't want to be bogged down with a man all the time. Now that's very telling. I believe that attitude that black women have put out there for quite some time has given rise to a lot of this hatred and negative rhetoric from black men, especially this manosphere crowd. And a lot of these dudes are up in their 40s and 50s and I believe 60s, and they're whining about black women for whatever reason. Really, men who should already be partnered by now and be in serious relationships by now. They're on social media talking about going to somewhere else to get somebody else. But even so, if they can be successful in those other places, that's fine. But I believe that black American women have drawn the line in the sand about what they're going to accept in a long-term relationship. And it's not struggle love. It's not 50-50. It's not somebody whining about everything that's wrong with black women. I just think that those kind of relationships and those kind of men are just not acceptable for these type of black women that this article is talking about. Now, this article primarily focuses on the changes that women have made, all women, but black women in particular. But it also speaks about men. There is a video that has gone viral by someone named Greg Matos in which he addresses the rise of singlehood for American men. He stated that because times have changed, women have healthier standards that men must abide by or remain single. So what this man says is that women have set some different standards, healthier. He says, this is a man saying that women have set healthier standards for relationships that men either have to abide by or remain single. He stated that women are more likely to be able to thrive alone without needing a romantic partner. This means a relationship skills gap that, if not addressed, will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities and longer periods of men being single. There's less patience for poor communication skills today. The problem for men is that emotional connection is the lifeblood of healthy, long-term love, and it requires all the skills that families still are not consistently teaching young boys. Now, this is a very powerful statement because he's saying that women want more than just a man to provide. Yes, men need to provide, but they also want the emotional connection. And he's saying that families are not teaching boys how to emotionally connect with the opposite sex. Emotional connection is a broad term, but if I were to give my armchair definition, I would include a deep feeling of intimacy, and you can only have that deep feeling of intimacy if you are committed. Emotional connection means faithfulness, being faithful to your partner, being trustworthy, being loyal. All of those things are important in a love connection, and that is what I think women are saying that they want. You don't have to bring in all this money. People use money to substitute for the comfort of a loving relationship. So if I can't get love, I'll take the money. Money is an important part of a successful relationship, but it's not the be-all, end-all that some people would make it out to be. So according to this study, women are saying that money is important, but the emotional connection is also very important. In reading this article, what I see is a new opportunity for black men and black women to connect. The old stereotypes, the old ways of doing things don't work anymore. Women are better educated, and women are earning more money than they did in the past. So men and women are going to have to negotiate these days. And I think most people are doing that. Most people who want to be in relationships are doing that. Nobody's really trying to go back to the 1950s. They might be trying to send somebody else to the 1950s and behave like a 1950s housewife. But they don't want to go back to the 1950s. They don't want to go back to the 19 anything. We're in an age now where you have these cell phones, you got computers, you got computerized cars. You can go faster, longer, farther than we've ever done before. Why would we want to get stuck in old-timey relationships that didn't even work for the people who were in those old-timey relationships? They wanted out of those old-timey relationships. They wanted better education. They wanted more money. They wanted more options in life. So why are you trying to drag somebody else back to that old age? It's not even fair. And as for dark-skinned black women, we've always had colorism in the black community, but we've also had balance. There's always been black men who like dark-skinned black women, brown-skinned black women, light-skinned black women, and pretty much everybody got married. This whole thing about somebody got to be this complexion and have this kind of hair, those are really not good standards to set for marriage, because you can marry somebody that had a perfect skin color, perfect hair type, perfect features, and a rotten personality. And guess what you're going to have? A rotten marriage. Because really, if you're just choosing somebody by their skin tone, you're a very shallow person anyway. But I think for dark-skinned black women, they have to reclaim their power. We haven't always been stuck in what white people thought about everything, because that thinking does not work for them, let alone working for us. So I am glad that black women are taking charge, because the better you feel about yourself, the better other people are going to feel about you. So dark-skinned black women are leveling up, and it's going to benefit everybody, especially black women, because now we can start breaking down those stereotypes of being angry, aggressive, and bitter. We're not going to be that all the time. We're only going to be angry, aggressive, and bitter when the times call for it. I believe that this study is valid. I think that this is what women are really saying about what they want for their own lives and in relationships. And I think that for black men who want to connect with black women, I think they should listen, because what these women are saying that they want is not unreasonable. They're saying they want healthier relationships. They want emotional connection, and they want men to have a certain level of education and a certain level of money, because every man needs money. You need enough money to take care of yourself. And if women are working and taking care of themselves, if they come together, put their money together, they can actually have a very good lifestyle and build wealth for the next generation. We don't come from generations of people who left us money, so we have to work for what we get. But when we work together, we can get more done. And that's how the black middle class was built in the first place, by black women and black men working together. It's just that now everybody's making more money. And it's time for a reset, I think, especially between black men and black women. This society is growing and changing. It's a very sophisticated society. In order for you to navigate this society, you do need a certain level of education, of sophistication, and socialization. This is not black women being uppity or trying to be something they're not, or artificial. This is just the reality of the society that we're living in. Everybody has to level up in order to live the comfortable life that we deserve to live in this land of plenty. We don't know how long it's going to be a land of plenty, but right now it's still a land of plenty. And we need to live as well as everybody else, or at least as well as we can. So I don't think that information like this should be taken in a negative manner. It should be taken as instructive, something that could help both black men and black women to live better lives. Okay. Let me know what you think about the video. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.